Good evening and welcome sim racing fans to the Broadcasting Lounge, your home for top tier sim racing action. Tonight we've loaded the V8s back into the transporters and rolled the GT3s into the garages that lie beneath the Ridges Pit Lane Hotel, whose guests, along with you at home, will get to witness the grand finale of the Supercars NZ MRP GT3 Series. We've been around the world over the past 7 weeks, and tonight the season culminates at Shell V-Power Motorsport Park at the Bend. And while Stefan McCartan has his title in the bag, the battles for the minor positions remain tight, and you can bet our drivers are itching to finish as high on the ladder as they can. I'm Shane White, and joining me for this exciting conclusion is the one and only Corey Kitchen. Who have you got your eye on to improve their final championship position tonight?
Well, Shano, I think I'm going to have to give it to Stefan McCartan. He most likely is going to be unstoppable to take out the championship, but it's a little tight for second. A couple of teammates sitting there very close in points. Just 3 points between Nico Cordia and Jaco Venta, two Game Flair boys, and Sean McNamara. He is in the mix as well, just a mere 30-odd points behind them. So it's going to get spicy for the final round, Shano.
Yeah, it's going to be hugely exciting. As you say, Stefan should be crowned the champion by the end of it. It's going to take some pretty extreme circumstances for him to not get it done. Look at what we've got in store for tonight. It is a new track, so SDK haven't got a track map sorted for us for this circuit yet, but it's the Bend in South Australia. We've got 19 degrees ambient temperature at the moment and clear skies, so that sun is going to be baking that track and giving the guys some fairly greasy conditions out there, which is probably, I think, been quite a common theme this season, is clear skies and warm track temperatures. So hopefully the guys should be getting used to how to navigate those sort of conditions in these GT3 cars.
Up the wires, Ross Watson, up the wires. I can get excited about that. I am excited for some racing. It's just the first time for me this week just doing GT3 this week. So I believe we've got one more normal round of the V8s and then the MRX Enduro coming up, Shano. So that's something else to schedule in the calendar. You going to be good for that for Yokoyama?
Yeah, I should be making an appearance there in the Camaro.
Yeah, you're gonna wet the wheels.
Yeah, get it out there. I'll get it out in qualifying on Monday night. I very much doubt I'll make the top 10 shootout, but I'll stick a lap down in qualifying and then put my feet up and watch the top 10 shootout right here on the broadcasting lounge.
Yeah, absolutely no change to the structure of that either. So anybody wanting to know any information, I'm sure Sean will have the race loaded up in no time. And of course, if you can't make the qualifying and top 10 shootout on the Monday, make sure you reach out to Sean McNamara. I'll give out his phone number at the end of the race.
So Hugo Allen's sitting on provisional pole at the moment with a 1:44.79. He just jumped ahead of Stephen McCartan when he put that lap in on the previous lap. So he's looking pretty rapid out there. He's on another lap and he will be able to finish this one because it's just a single race tonight, no heat racing. So iRacing will let everybody finish their laps that they've started once the checkered flag comes out. And he has put down another purple middle sector, so he could be on to improve even more. Stephen McCartan in the pits, not enough time to get out and start a lap as time's up now, checkered flag is out. So Stefan in second, Dan Nolan in ninth are all locked in. Aaron Goodrick sitting in 10th at the moment. Currently on track but not lining up the screens. We'll stick with
No,
Hugo Allen.
he's about halfway through his lap, Aaron, and yeah, he's not lighting up anything in particular, so looking like he's going to be 10th as Hugo pulls into the pits as well. So just Aaron Goodrick, Lou Robertson, James McKenzie, Chris Zalewski and Luke Rankin still out on track.
Yeah, so Hugo obviously either decided he wasn't going to better his time or just wanted to get the chance to practice the pit entry. Aaron Goodrick runs wide there. That'll finish his laps. James McKenzie has just completed a lap and he will have the checkered flag now. Lou Robertson looks like he might just be cruising back around.
Car change for Lou, I see.
And the Mustang.
Yeah, Mustang Sally.
Raceweek sponsor Chris Zalewski finishing a lap. He's currently sitting in P21. We'll see if he can improve as he comes to the line. He does jump up into P13, so a 147.56. Nice time there from Chris. Certainly all these GT3 cars going significantly quicker than what we were able to achieve in the V8s on Tuesday night. So to be expected, a very tight, twisty track for most of it. There's a good long front straight, but other than that, not a lot of long straights where the V8s tend to make up a bit more of the time that they lose in the corners compared to a GT3. So not surprising to see. I think it's about 8 seconds quicker the faster guys are going. I think we're seeing 52s as the top times on Tuesday, and we've got 44s here for pole position and second position in this one.
If I could pick any category in the world to be a professional driver, and I'd been in GT3, that would be where I would go. Personally. What about you, Shane?
Well, I'd have to pick up some talent first to even get the chance, but yeah, I think the GT3 would be a good option.
Yeah, you get to travel around the world.
Yeah, that's right. There's plenty of GT3 competitions around the world. You get to do some of the great endurance races. Bathurst 12 hour, Spa 24 hour, Nürburgring 24 hour, Le Mans,
Oh, it'd be great to have talent,
Daytona.
wouldn't it?
It would be amazing to have talent.
A 5-minute warm-up, and then the boys will be behind the safety car for the standard rolling start.
Yeah, we have
Chance, no chance of rain. No, the weather's good, isn't it? Yep, looks it. No chance of that shitting the bed, so we'll take that. And a nice new paint job there on the Team West car. That's Dan Turner out there. So that was Thomas McCall won a free paint job when from OKMS, and yeah, that's the result right there.
Yeah, and looking very sharp. No surprises there. BJ always does a great job on not just any paint he does, anything he does really. He does a pretty good job on it.
Yeah, attention to
Photos,
detail.
absolutely. So this week's race week sponsor is Racecraft SCNZ, Chris Zalewski, who we saw out on track in that Racecraft's car. Oh, he is out on track again in the warm-up, so we can have a look at his livery. But we can also talk about prize he's given us to give away. So one was given away on Tuesday night, I believe, but we've got another one tonight. A nice little RC drift car is going to go to one of our drivers, thanks to Chris Zalewski at Racecraft NZ.
Yeah, 1 to 24 scale. It's got dual motors. Comes with a couple of sets of tyres. It looks like a pretty cool, and you can pick from out of 5. So there's like an A86. There looks like a Nissan Skyline, maybe a 350Z. There's a Evo, and what looks like possibly, I'm gonna say the Ferrari, but I could be wrong because I'm looking at it on my phone. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Somebody's going to get to take one of them away tonight. Absolutely cool looking little thing. I wish I was out there racing.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how we could give that away too, and I'm wondering if we keep an eye out for any drifting action during the race tonight, and maybe the best one gets that.
The best drift. All right, I like that.
And of course, our series sponsor for the GT3s and the GTE series that we're going to be kicking off next week as well. Let's not forget about that 4-round GTE Endurance Series, thanks to MRP Sim Racing.
Yeah, the GTEs, they're coming back. Somebody's just slipped in here.
Mr.
Yes,
McNamara.
are you guys live yet, or what's happening?
We are very much live. What can you tell us about MRP Sim Racing?
Oh, I'll tell you what, the amount of money I've spent there is horrendous. Nah, it's not. I've got a lot of gear I'm looking at that I bought from MRP thanks to Barry. So that's what happens. You know, we buy his gear, he supports us. So that's how it works. So get out there and buy his gear, people. I've got steering wheels. I've got rig. I've got gloves. Yeah, I've got heaps of stuff from Barry. So, nah, very good to deal with. Did you guys know you're also giving away one racetrack tonight?
I thought maybe a car tonight. Maybe if somebody
Okay,
doesn't own a GTE, because GTE changed for next week, so
100%.
possibly they might want a car. That was what I was talking with Shane about earlier. But
Go
here
for it.
comes the horse in his mouth.
As long as it's it's a cool car. But yeah, the GTEs next week. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be cool. But a bit of endurance racing. Obviously, just no teams, just one person, one car, one track, and do a bit over an hour. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So you were out there racing tonight?
I am. I just thought I'd just come in and make sure you're giving away stuff. So you're giving it away because that's what we do here at Supercars NZ. Giving it away. Give it away. Give it away.
Well, like
Give it
my
away, give it
tip
away, give
for
it away.
tonight, and it's one thing that will possibly happen, is you're going to end up getting third in the championship because it happens a lot. You seem
Well,
to
I
get
hope so.
third. You're close enough.
I
So
am,
good
I am.
night for you, and maybe a bad night for one of them Gamma Flare boys, and you might get up there, mate. But there you go. Get yourself ready to rock and roll, and I've let everybody know that the best drift tonight is going to be judged by me and Shane, and they're going to win an RC car. So we've worked
nice.
that out.
It's the drifter, Mr. Drifter.
Yeah, that's right. Best drift. And I
Alright.
let them all know, and they asked me lots of questions, and I didn't answer.
Cool. I'll leave you boys. Have a good call. Appreciate it, and hopefully we chat later.
Thank you, Sean. Have a good race.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
So warm-up coming to an end. Just before we tick into the gridding, head to mrpsimracing.co.nz and you can pick up Track Racer SimCube, V&M Simulation, GSI Simtrex, Leox, Simline, Mozza, SimMagic and Thrustmaster products from mrpsimracing.co.nz. Just some of the brands that they have available on their website. So we are lining up on the grid now, and we can have a look at that grid. Here's how it's going to line up. Hugo Allen on pole position from Stephen McCartan. Second row, Jaco Venter and Rob Crawford. Back to Phil Carpenter and Sean McNamara on the third row, and then Leith Swinney, Blake Greenhill, Dan Nolan and Aaron Goodrick rounding out the top 10 there. And then we go back to Nick Accordia, Dan Turner, Chris Zalewski, Wayne Hartnell, Noah Kitcher, James McKenzie. And let's try and get this working to go to the next page. There we go. Steve Darren, Louis Robertson, Adam Hughes, Grant Bristow, Kristen Jenkins, Luke Rankin, Peter Vanderberg, Ross Watson. And then we go back to Tom McCall, Dylan Radford, Ian Parker, Heath Mann and Pete Rotmitz off the back of the grid.
Great timing. We're just getting rolling now. Be just a short, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's not a full. Wouldn't be a full one around here.
It looks like a short formation lap, which is good. It is quite a long track, so glad that iRacing have got that added to this one. And we come around onto the main straight now. Pace car peels off, and we are heading down towards the start finish line. We're about to go racing, and we have the green flag, and we are underway. Hugo Allen takes them away to go racing at the bend. We've got up a cream line behind Jaco Venter, Rob Crawford and Sean McNamara doing battle side by side down the straight. Sean just has to back out of it. Jaco Venter going to slot into third. Hugo Allen and Stephen McCartan continuing to battle over P1. Stefan's held on the outside of turn 1. He's going to go around the outside at 3. Can he make it work? They're still side by side. Good flowing section, but Stefan's going to have the inside as they come up to this left-hander, the hairpin down here, and I don't think Hugo's going to be able to live on the outside there.
They're 3 wide through some of these middle guys we've head to now. Keep an eye on this for a little bit. We've had 3 wide, almost 4 wide action through some of these corners, just holding on. It's great to see. And a big final field for the GT3s. Love that.
Yeah, 29 cars in at the moment. Krystolewski we're looking at the moment up one spot. Blake Greenhall's gone back a couple of spots from his starting position.
Oh,
There's
that's
something in the background. Grant Bristow involved. Looks like Pete Rock. No, it's Pete Robertson's come through. Tom McCall, James McKenzie involved as well.
yeah, a few cars involved in that. That'll be worth having a look back at. It's like James McKenzie, he's dropped quite far back. Grant Bristow as well.
Looks like Grant may have towed to the pits as well. He looks to be in the pits now. This battle mid-pack starting to settle down a little bit into single file at least, but still very tight on the gaps. But as Stephen McCartan comes around the final corner now, he's got just a quarter of a second lead over Hugo Allen. So Hugo putting the pressure on, he was able to get that pole position, and he's not going to let Stefan get away with this one.
No, just holding on, keeping in touch. That's probably the main game as we see some 3 wide action again into turn 1.
And Nico Cordia looking to take advantage in the background there and does pick up a couple of positions. He's on the inside of Aaron Goodrick at the moment and gets that move done. Blake Greenhall the next car, but Aaron going for the switchback there, not quite able to get that done though, and Nico will sit in P9 at the moment. Blake Greenhall next car ahead of him, but that is very tight battle pack that we've got going on at the moment from around the tail end of the top 10. Looks like it goes all the way back to nearly the tail end of the top 20.
I'm sure there'll be a restriction on fuel, so they're not going to have enough to make it the whole 45 minutes. They're going to have to stop, so there's going to be pit stops. Is this a situation, being just one race, where somebody's going to do an undercut, and are they going to come out on top?
Oh, moment for Nico Cordia. He's able to gather it up briefly, but well off track and comes to a stop. Looking to rejoin now. He's lost a lot of time there. That was a very wild, loose moment there for Nico. And he... Oh! Louis Robertson, he might have heard about our giveaway and he was putting the drift attempt on there. He's ended up off track, so I don't know if that counts. Off track tends to be a 0 score in drifting, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a drift, I guess. We could add that to one that's gone on the list. It's going to be hard if nobody drifts.
Noah Kitcher in a battle at the moment with Dan Turner just ahead of him. Steve Darren in the mix there as well, and Wayne Hartnell just behind Noah at the moment. Dan's going to look for the move on Steve down the inside of the hairpin, but not able to get it down there. It's a very tempting braking zone down there into the hairpin, but the gap disappears very quickly once you get into the corner, so can be very tricky to get that one right. Aaron Goodrick and Blake Greenhall swapping positions. Aaron's just been able to get around Blake there, and Leith Swinney putting pressure on as well, sitting in P10 at the moment.
Yeah, Nico Cordia, he's dropped down to 20th position, so the points difference between him and Sean McNamara right now is probably going to be enough. So that's unlucky for Nico. He's dropped quite far back. He's going to have a bit of work to do to get himself back up there, but he's got plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this race, so plenty of time, as you say, to make up those positions. So we should have a replay here of the lap 1 drama. So this was Grant Bristow. Oh, so there's already stuff going on ahead of him, and he's just got tangled up with the number 7, which was James McKenzie, rolling backwards there. I saw a jigsaw car involved as well. I think that might have been Lou Robertson, so we'll go with this one. See what we're able to pick up here. Oh yeah, Louis getting loose on cold tyres, goes around, so that's what started it all. James just going around in sympathy there almost, I think, trying to avoid, maybe hold a tighter line, trying to avoid, and then as he's rolled backwards, he's just caught Grant up in that one as well. So cold tyres and a few guys not able to hold it together on that opening lap.
Oh, the old cold tyres. It's definitely been the story of the season. Everybody adapting to the new tyres, and they've done a great job. And it looks to me like they've stuck in it as well. Everybody's been in it for the whole 8 rounds, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we've seen pretty consistently high numbers across the season. We also saw that moment with Nico Cordia a little bit earlier, and we can just have another look at what happened to him. He got up on the sausage curve there. Looked like it was still pretty well settled after that, but then on the exit it just sort of snapped on him. So quite a strange one there. These cars do have traction control, and normally you'd expect the traction control to take care of that, but he's managed to light it up anyway. Maybe he's running a low traction control number, and then that was Louis coming in hot behind and almost collecting him, but managing to avoid that. I think just the fact that he managed to not hit Nico with that one, I think we can actually rate that quite highly on the drift scale there.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. Was Lou Robinson drift that'd have to be leading the drift of the night so far?
Battle for the lead still on at the moment. Stephen McCartan hovering between 0.3 and 0.4 clear of Hugo Allen at the moment. Oh, Hugo kicking up some dirt out of the hairpin there. Just want to jump on board through this section because this is such an intense part of the track. Keep turning right. Four apex right hander, and you're just continuously holding the right hand lock on the steering wheel and getting progressively slower with each apex through that corner as well.
It's a very weird experience for never experiencing a track and then just jumping in to do commentary on it. Like, we know the track because we watch V8 supercars, obviously. That is predominantly what this league is about. And to come here and these GT3s, and for me, I'm just on board here just completely, like, I got no hype. Like, I wouldn't even know where the braking marker is there. I'd be off. I would have taken him out.
Yeah, it was certainly challenging getting into in the V8 this week. I jumped in on Monday and struggled for most of that practice night to find my braking markers. Managed to get to the point by the end of the practice session where I could keep it on track to put a qualifying lap together, and then through the race just focused on trying to fine tune the markers a little bit and found some alright pace on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I got caught up in a few incidents after stalling on the start line, which really didn't help me, so a bit of an interesting night there.
Stalling on the start line now, that's got to be a bit of fun. Nobody hit you?
Thankfully nobody hit me. But I watched
because you were at the back of the pack, or were you in the middle of the pack? Where were you?
No, I was mid-pack, and credit to everybody that started behind me. They did a great job to get around me while I was sitting there trying to get the car refired. It was not fun watching all those cars go past though, and trying to get it restarted, but at the same time bracing for what I thought was probably an inevitable impact. Luckily it didn't come, and I was able to carry on, but did have a few impacts with other drivers that I probably shouldn't have been racing around if I'd executed the start.
Yeah, I bet you said sausage curve a few times.
Yeah, let's say that's what I said.
Yeah, of course. Of course, every time that word is mentioned, Scott Pickering's, there's something in his head there that's ding ding. It's a good word, isn't it, Scotty?
We do have a few sausage curbs around here as well.
Yeah, we need to have a sausage curve counter every time it's mentioned. Ding! Because, yeah, there is tons of them around here, and some of them look horrible from what I've seen so far, especially if you get a mid-engine car anywhere near it.
Yeah, though I did find a few of them. I was able to ride some of those sausages quite well in the V8. Oh, Dan Turner drafting off Steve Darren down the front straight. He's going to pull out into turn one and attempt the move, but Steve very good on the brakes down there, and Dan wasn't able to get that move done. Steve actually clearing out by a few car lengths as well through there. You alright, Corey?
I'm glad I've got pushed into it. Holy crap. I need a drink. My dog is awoken, wondering what is going on. Oh, I can't unhear that. Somebody clip it.
Oh,
No,
Steve,
oh.
Steve hasn't rode that sausage.
What did he do?
He didn't ride that sausage very well. He climbed right up on it at a very bumpy one.
I can't. I'm actually crying.
Oh, sorry folks, the broadcasting lounge has descended into absolute lunacy.
No, it's too much sugar, too much sugar. Well, we've lost a viewer, I'm sorry. I hope everyone else is laughing too, if you're having a laugh. Who should we give away? How are we giving away the car tonight? Do we get the chat involved in somehow? There's 9 of you watching, you could be influencers.
Yeah, well maybe we get them to tell us their favourite driver.
Or tell us why we should pick a driver to give them a new car.
Yeah, nominate someone for a car. And, oh, mind you, if we... I've just seen Scott's latest, or no, he's put in a few more comments now, but some of those comments from Scott, the trouble is if we get the chat involved, then we can't not read his comments, and we might break down again.
It's too late. Park and save. Shadow, would you like some sausage, Curbs? Would you like some sausage? Alright, here we go. So, this is a bit of a mid-pack paddle here. So we've got Phil Carpenter, Leaf Swinny, and that is Steve Darren going for a wild ride in that Mustang again. No drifting involved.
Yeah, just getting a bit too deep. Invites Blake Greenhill into this battle now.
Yeah, and we know Balaki, he will not take any prisoners. He'll just go around.
Picking up a bit of dirt on the exit of the final corner here. Tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on the onboard camera with Blake. We'll have a look at this new track as we ride down into turn one. We'll get the dashboard up since we can't see his dashboard, and we can see that he's taking this section in second gear through turn 3 here. Nice little flat out right hander at 4, and then we're going to flick to the left at 5. You have to have a little bit of a lift here in the V8. It sounds like Blake's able to keep it flat there, and then hard on the brakes for this hairpin back to second gear again. Running quite a late apex there to try and hold this corner open, hold it over to the left to open this corner. I got there eventually, and then run right, keep going right, and then go left now. Nice medium speed chicanes, go back to second gear for the right hand part of that, and then we're going to run down a little straight and then on the brakes again into this right hander, deceptively fast this one as you come up over the crest. And then double left-hander down here. Reminds me a little bit of the turn 4-5 complex at Queensland Raceway. and then flick it back to the right, runs the right hand wheels through the dirt off the back of the curb, and then on the brakes again, going to go back down to second gear again for this right hander. Get the throttle down. He's got a bit of a run on Steve there, he ran it a little bit wide into the final corner, third gear. Oh, Steve goes through the grass, across the pit entry, and Blake's going to get the run. Oh, looking for a bit of a side draft, and they almost bumped there. They are going to bump now, rubbing doors all the way down the straight, and Blake's going to have the inside line into turn one and get that pass done.
Yeah, Steve tried his best, didn't he, but got off on the grass there, took all his momentum away down the straight. So he's going to have to work at getting around Blake now, just keep on the back, I guess. Hugo Allen setting the fastest lap of the race last time by with a 1:45.064.
Yeah, very good pace for Hugo, and he's still right there with Stefan, but hasn't been able to get the pass done. I wonder if he's just happy to sit there at the moment, saving a bit of fuel in the slipstream down the front straight, and yeah, it might be a strategy to shorten up the pit stop later on in the race and see if we can jump him in the pits.
Yeah, we've seen it quite often. If you get the better run, lighter on fuel, you have less to take to get home. So, quicker pit stop, it could be the difference.
Could be any advantage you can get when it's been within half a second all race long. You'll take that advantage if you can get it. Of course,
Yeah, Hugo just playing wing mirror pressure, basically just getting in the mirrors.
Yeah, could be. We have seen from time to time Stefan sticking close to, well, letting P2 stick close to him in the first stint of the race from time to time, and using that opportunity to save fuel himself and shorten his own pit stop, at which point he then jumps out in the final stint and cruises home to a convincing victory. But the fact that Hugo Allen was able to surpass Stefan for pole position, I do think that this is a genuine challenge from Hugo, and that well, we know that Hugo is exceptionally fast as well. He's a professional driver. He's won or competed at a very high level for a very long time now in sim racing, and competes in real world racing as well. So we know he's quick, we know he's talented, and we know that based on the qualifying times tonight that he's got the pace to take it, Stefan McCartan, and he's proving that so far.
Yeah, that Lamborghini is just keeping on the tail of that Mustang. That one performance Mustang has been out the front all season. Over 200 point lead at the front at the moment for Stefan McCartan in the championship. It is just a formality, this race. It'll take extreme events for him to lose it, that's for sure. A couple of shout outs in the chat. Shano Noah Kitcher equals young SVG. There we go. Tio. Big words. I'm old enough to be an old SVG.
I'm certainly not talented enough to be any sort of SVG.
You want cheeseburger.
Phil Carpenter coming to pit lane 20 minutes into the race, so not too far away from halfway, so this is probably where we'd expect to see scheduled pit stops happening, and certainly Phil Carpenter coming down a very slow pit lane, and that's something that we haven't talked about yet. Is it's not exactly a short pit lane, and the 40k limit, it is so painful coming down this lane, especially when you get yourself a drive-through penalty for incident points like I did on Tuesday and have to take an extra trip down there. So
Do the crime, do the time, Shano.
absolutely, but it is a very, very painful pit lane to sit there at 40k's all the way down there while everybody else is blasting past. Obviously everybody's going to have to make at least one trip down there tonight, but how you get in there and managing that, and managing getting in there, getting it down to 40 k's before you get to that yellow cone at the start of pit lane as well is very crucial. There were a few people that picked up some penalties on Tuesday night because they didn't quite get it down to speed before they reached the yellow cone.
What's happened to Heath Mann? He's on a black flag. He's been through the pits. So I'm wondering if he's been caught speeding in the pits. See, he's coming through for possibly a drive-through here, I think.
Yeah, potentially releasing that limiter a little bit too early, and we can see from the roll bar just how painful that is rolling down there at 40 k's, and you can hear those cars flying past on the main straight, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just has to cruise through and take the punishment. As you said, do the crime, do the time.
Yep, that black flag has disappeared, so we were onto something there. As we see a line of cars coming in to take their pit stop. That's Steve Darren, Adam Hughes, Lou Robinson, and Noah Kitcher, the young SVG. So that leaves 11 cars. Oh, sorry, 13 cars yet to come down the lane.
So I believe I've found Heath leaving the pit lane on his scheduled pit stop. Just gonna have a look and a listen. That all looked okay. I do wonder. Oh, he's. Aha, yes, okay. I know what he's done.
Well, yeah, that'll be the exit of the pits there. He's gone across the blend line too early.
Yep, so unfortunately the blend line here does force you to stay on the racing line, and I don't think Heath was quite aware of where that was, and tried to do the right thing and get out of the way of some cars that were coming on a hot lap. Unfortunately, that meant he crossed the blend line and did pick up a penalty there.
So the top 5 coming down the lane now. 6, 7, 8. So it looks like fuel. So when I jumped in the car before, it said established laps was 14, and boom. I'd forgotten about mentioning that, but there you go.
Oh, Hugo has got the jump on him. So we may have been right. Either he short fueled it or he was saving fuel in that slipstream and was able to add a little bit less.
Yeah, there's
And
1 second difference. Wow. Just, wow, that's 1 second difference in the pit time there.
Yeah, and the gap was sitting at under half a second most of that first stint, so that 1 second was enough to swing that around and give Hugo the advantage. But we'll keep an eye on the battle because we know Stefan's not going to take that line down. There was a bit of a battle in the background. I think that might have been lapped cars in behind these guys. But yeah, Stefan will be incredibly keen to get back to the lead of this race, and we'll have to keep an eye on the battle and see if he's able to make that work. It's going to be very spicy. Of course, what he doesn't want to do is get too greedy and risk a DNF, because that is the one way he could be at risk of losing this championship. Although Nico Cordia currently down in 11, and I think in 11th, sorry, and I think he would still have to win even if Stefan McCartan did get the DNF.
Yeah, it'd be pretty close, and unfortunate events for that to happen. I think he's a smart racer, so I don't think he's going to get himself into too much trouble. Another shout out in the chat for Noah Kitcher.
We got Noah here doing battle with Steve Darren as well.
Yeah, one of the youngest versus one of the oldest. Can't disclose anybody's age. Yeah, just putting the pressure on, keeping on the in the rear vision mirror there, Steve Darren.
Yeah, sure is. He's getting right into that, almost right into that Mustang splitter. Very aggressive rear splitter the Mustang's got, rear diffuser, sorry, the Mustang's got on it.
Oh, it's a glorious motor vehicle.
Not bad for a Ford, I suppose. Pity is that the Corvette GT3 appears to be very unpopular. We've got none of them. I don't think we've had any of them all season, unfortunately.
I think possibly somebody may have started. There was a lot of McLarens. There seems to be a pickup, a few Porsches. Just the one BMW in the field again tonight, Balaki, the sole Beamer driver. One Ferrari.
The only constants in this world are change and Blake Greenhill driving a BMW GT3.
Yeah, maybe we see him switch to BMW GTE. Maybe Scott's got some work to do to get him a paint.
Yeah, Scott, stop talking about sausages and make a paint for a BMW GTE for Blake.
I think Adam Hughes has been given a drive-through penalty.
So was this a race control issued drive-through penalty?
Yes, yeah, race control have given it out. It was for contact, but I didn't catch who the other car was.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll see if
Oh,
I can...
hang on, I've got it here. Oh, has it in there yet? Oh, the first one that come through for 57 in car 7 was a racing incident. So we'll wait for the information to come up. So when Peter puts it in the chat.
Yeah, the only data I'm seeing for Adam at the moment is past data, so yeah, hopefully we'll get the information on who the other car involved was, and I'll be able to pick up what went on there. Well, we've seen everybody come to pit lane and take their scheduled stops, so we'll keep Wayne happy and we'll scroll down the order because we know how much he loves to do that. So here you go, Alan, race leader out there at the moment in the Lamborghini. He's pulled a little bit of a gap over Stefan McCartan, 8/10 of a second. Stefan there, One Performance Racing in the number 51 Mustang. That's blasphemy to me. 51 on a Ford. That's absolute blasphemy.
Well, the number might have significance to him either. Anyway.
That's blasphemy. Jaco Venter, P3, Camouflage Sim Racing. 714 in the Lamborghini. So 2 Lamborghinis currently on the podium and a Mustang.
Yeah, Lambo Ford.
Rob Carwood, car 15. Not yet in a team, so if anyone's looking for a fairly quick South African driver to join their team, I don't know, maybe he wants to stay a privateer, so I shouldn't sell him without his permission, should I?
It could be illegal.
Sean McNamara, P5 Team Jigsaw Racing, Mr. Plough. Strangely, I'm not seeing a position pop up next to his name on the driver information there. I'll see if I can...
He is in 5th, so he's up 1 spot, so he is improving. Nico, who he is fighting in the championship against, is 4 spots behind, 5 spots behind in 10th, so He's made a good recovery from being back near 18th earlier, or 20th, I think he possibly was. So good work from Nico to get himself back up there.
Yeah, not sure why the position isn't showing on the driver info at the bottom there. I can remember actually last week Sean mentioning to me that Wayne had that problem and that he was able to fix it, but nobody told me how he fixed it.
Maybe an update.
No, it wouldn't have been an update because he fixed it during the race apparently.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I won't dwell on that for too long. We'll keep scrolling down the order. Leith Swinney is P6. He's up one spot and he's got Dan Turner just behind him, first of the Team West cars there in the 836 Porsche.
Yeah, Dan's up 5 spots too, so definitely on the improve.
Yeah, good effort from Dan. Just stick with this to see if he's able to get the pass done into the hairpin here. He's got the run, he pokes the nose out. He's going to try and slide it down the inside. Space is given, but oh, he did manage to get alongside on the exit, but he's going to be on the outside all the way through this long quadruple apex right-hander.
How long is it?
Very long.
Long.
I'm not even gonna talk about any sort of curb in relation to that.
Does it go all the way around the corner?
I don't believe so there, no.
So there'd be multiple of them.
Yes.
Oh, like almost be a sausage fest.
Pike Greenhill running in 8th position at the moment. I believe that Misfits car behind him is a lap car. Looks like James McKenzie there. So we saw him involved in that drama early on, and obviously hasn't been his night off the back of that. Dan Nolan, P9, both Blake and Dan currently running where they started.
Yeah, Blake just thanked Dan, so maybe he got round him recently.
Nico Cordia running tail end of the top 10 now. Up one spot, so after being off the track early on and still being up one spot from where he started, that's a very good recovery.
So there was an incident involving car 740 Adam Hughes. He got a drive-through penalty. That was for an incident involving car 501, which is Louis Robinson.
Alright, so hopefully that will be the information we need to find out what went on there. I'm thinking it might be this here. Let's have a look. Oh, we don't want, I don't think, oh, that's looking very interesting. That might be after. Looks like he's already got quite a bit of damage at that point, going slowly. Well, not a huge amount of visible damage, but something certainly strange going on with the car there. This might be it. So Louis leaving the pits. Oh no, so they're just swapping positions there. In pit lane. So that's Adam ahead of Louis there. Ah, okay. So, bit of a brake check mid-corner by the look of that.
We can only speculate, I guess. But, well, yeah, Lou's, unfortunately, he's down in 21st, so unlucky. He was a wee bit further up the pack.
Yeah, certainly looked like that heavy front end impact did a lot of damage to the motor there on that one, and gave him a very slow lap back around the pits to get a fast repair there. So certainly not helping his race there. Continue scrolling down the order. Noah Kitcher running in P11.
Still got the paint on there for his grandmother.
He has, yes.
Yeah, special paint for his grandmother. It says Hi Nan on it.
Christian Jenkins not too far behind in P12. Up 9 spots as well. But Ian Parker, 13th, up 14 spots, so he's had a very good race.
Yeah, very iconic Porsche paint job he's got on there too.
Yeah, sure is. Looking very sharp there. And Dylan
Anyway.
Radford in 14th with a BAR Honda livery on the Acura, so technically a Honda, an American Honda, so very appropriate livery on that one as well.
Yeah, my Honda. Still a hairdresser's car if you ask me.
Phil Carpenter, P15 down 10 spots and just letting the leaders go there into turn 1. So on what is not by any means a short track, Hugo and Stefan have leapt up to P15. That just shows how rapid those two are.
Yeah, and that's consistent, 145s from these boys. Like they're about last laps in the 145s, and the closest Jaco Venter was a 146 flat, pretty much last time by. But yeah, these guys further down in 15th, they're doing 147s, and then you got 150s. So yeah, 5 seconds a lap.
Steve Darren sitting P16, team boss of Team Jigsaw Racing. I heard he booked out the entire Ridges Pit Lane Hotel, and he's not even letting anyone else stay there. He's keeping it all for himself. Could be just a rumour, you never know.
So an incident involving Car 62 Steve Darren and Car 97 Noah Kitcher, post-race penalty for Car 62 avoidable contact. So it'll be a points penalty, I guess, added on at the end.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's see if we can find anything on that. We have got Noah Kitcher having a crash. Oh!
What did he hit, Scott? If anything, it has to be the sausage curb blame for that, I feel. God damn. Sausage curbs everywhere.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate, and we can... I can understand why the penalty there, because as the passing car, it is your responsibility to maintain control and not hit the other car, as Phil Carpenter hasn't maintained control going around all by himself. But yeah, very unfortunate for both guys on that incident. Certainly no malice from Steve. He's not a malicious driver at all, even at the worst of times. And yeah, just going for the pass, trying to have a good race, and cut too tight, bounced off that sausage curb and made contact unfortunately and picked up the penalty. Adam Hughes sitting in P17 at the moment. Car 740 in the Ferrari, Gamma Flare Esports. So we're used to seeing all these Gamma Flare guys up the pointy end of the field, but Adam not having the best of nights tonight. Chris Zalewski in P18. Raceweek sponsor, thank you Racecraft NZ, and we will be giving away that drift car to someone at the end of it. At the moment I think it's still Louis. I haven't seen any other drifts catch my eye so far.
No, nobody has pulled it off yet, have they? But yeah, Racecraft's your go-to for quality sim racing products, mods and accessories. Racecraft's aim to bring affordability to sim racing with made-to-order products like button boxes, DDUs, wind simulators, haptic feedback systems and DIY components, all designed and crafted right here in New Zealand and completely customizable to fit your style. So that's pretty awesome, and you can find Racecrafts NZ on Facebook as well.
Oh, I'm just going to quickly go through the rest of the order because we're actually running out of time here. So Aaron Goodrick sitting in P18, Pete Rotman's P19. We have already covered off Ian and Louis who are in the pits there now, 20th and 21st. James McKenzie, 22nd there. We saw him caught up in that lap 1 incident and unfortunately hasn't been able to recover from there. Wayne Hartnell, P23. Luke Rankin, P24. Grant Bristow, 25th. Heath Mann is back in the pits in 26th, so it has not been his night. And it looks like Tom McCall has pulled the pin along with Peter Vanderberg and Ross Watson. But
that answers Danny the Miniature Horse's question. He was asking how many cars were on track, and you just got to it, so Danny the Miniature Horse will be happy with your answer.
You're welcome, Danny. So Stefan has closed right in on the back of Hugo Allen again. Timing has run right to the end. We've got just under 2 minutes remaining. I think they'll get this lap done and squeeze one more in. It'll be close though. But the start finish line is quite early on the main straight. But Stefan McCartan on the outside in turn 3. Can he get it done? Can he stay there like Hugo did at the like Stefan did at the start? And he almost pulled off a duplicate move, but Hugo just able to get the run into that left-hander there. Covers the inside into the hairpin. And now it gets a little bit of follow the leader for a while. So Stefan will just have to make sure he can try and stick as close under that rear wing as he can and try and get the run. Probably the next realistic chance for an outbraking manoeuvre will be into the second to last corner. Really big
we should
stop.
get one more.
Yeah, I think we are going to get one more after this one. A little bit of a braking zone here, but as I mentioned earlier when we were on board, it's a deceptively fast right-hander up over the crest there. Always going to try and go around the outside here. Can't get it done, and Hugo covering off any threat of the switchback there. This next corner up here, the braking zone, he darts out, looks to go back in, and then goes again. So almost tried to do the fake. Not able to pull it off though, and he's going to sit in behind through the final corner. He'll look to pick up the draft. I think that a little bit of weaving around into the penultimate corner probably just held him back a little bit though. They'll get the white flag now. We tick down to 45 minutes gone just after they start the lap. So this is the final lap, and he pulls out, thinks about the move, not close enough though. He'll have to sit in behind through this section. He'll be thinking about trying to set up for the hairpin now. Get a good exit off that. We've got Nomakicha just recovering off after an incident on the outside of turn 3 there. Flat out through the left-hander in these cars on the brakes. Hugo covers the inside again. Stefan has to go to the outside. They look to get the switch back, but Hugo parks it at the apex, doesn't give him the gap to go for. And now they run all the way through this long quadruple apex right-hander. Get it into the last part of that. Stefan just having to stick him behind for now. if he can get
Yeah,
it
lapped
right.
car coming up. Yeah, he gets out of the way. Radford.
Yeah, Dylan not wanting to decide this battle. Not wanting to get involved, does the right thing, stays out of the way. Stefan going to the outside here. That should help him get a good exit. He got a little bit of overlap on the outside, but he can't stay there on the exit. But if he can get in the draft, he might be able to make a move. Down here, he's going to have to go to the outside again. Does he get the switch back? No, he can't quite get that done. Hugo doing a very good job, but oh, Hugo's slowing right. I think Hugo's out of fuel. Stephen McCartan gets around and will take the win. Hugo Allen, we're going to jump on
Looks
board.
like
Yeah, he's getting the
getting
push.
pushed.
Hugo out of fuel. So, well, he had 1 second less in the lane. He tried to short fill it and got him that track position, but he was too short by just a few hundred metres, and that was enough for Stephen McCartan to get around and get the win. Hugo Allen coming home in P2. Jaco Venter claiming a podium there. Yet another podium for Gamaflare Esports. We always see at least one of those guys on the podium, and Jaco doing a very good job tonight to claim another one. Rob Carwood in the Mustang there, P4. Sean McNamara bringing it across in P5 in the McLaren. Dan Turner looks like he's going to be able to hold off Leith Swinney for P6. Leith will be 7th. Blake Greenhill just in behind in 8th. Nico Cordia recovering to 9th in the end. Decent recovery from a messy start to the race. Dan Nolan making his way up to the final corner now. Nobody's threatening him at the moment, so as long as he keeps it on track, which he does through the final corner, he will come across the line and claim a top 10, back into the top 10 there. Kristen Jenkins in a battle, no, that's the lap car actually ahead of him, sorry. So Kristen Jenkins will come home P11. Noah Kitcher, we saw him off the track as the leaders were coming around on the final lap. He is running in P12.
And I'd say he has won himself a car, so he was shouted out in the chat the most. So he's RC car, thanks to the Race Week sponsor, Racecraft NZ.
Well, he's getting an iRacing car.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's
Yep.
right. He's getting an iRacing car. That is my bad. Can we rewind that? Oh, congratulations to Noah Kitcher. He is getting himself enough iRacing bucks to get himself a new car. So I think that's about $15 US, I think, isn't it, for a car? Or $12 US for a car?
Yeah, somewhere around there. We'll work out exactly what the number is and get that credited to his account. And he is going to come across the line there. P12. I think last car on the lead lap as well, by the look of it. So P13 was Dylan Radford, we had Steve Darren P14, Phil Carpenter 15, Aaron Goodrick P16, Pete Rotmans P17, Adam Hughes P18, James McKenzie 19th, Chris Zalewski 20th, Louis Robertson 21st, Wayne Hartnell 22nd, Grant Bristow 23rd, Ian Parker 24th, Luke Rankin 25th, Heath Mann 26th, and Tom McCall pulled the pin early, classified there in 27th, but I don't think he's going to be able to get any points for that one. Peter Vanderberg and Ross Watson qualified. Oh, they are race control, of course.
Yeah,
Almost
not
pulled himself
needed
out on that
out
one.
on the track. No safety car tonight. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, didn't need the safety car tonight. No tow rule in effect. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case when we roll into the GTEs next week, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. So we had the best drift. I think the only thing close to a drift we really saw was Lou Robertson. So I think he's getting the drift car.
Yeah, I think you'd be pretty much right.
Alright, so that pretty much wraps us up. I should say that drift car is thanks to Chris Zalewski and Racecraft NZ. Look up Racecraft NZ on Facebook and find all their information there. I think they do have a website as well, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's just racecrafts.co.nz. I think I'll check.
Yeah, racecrafts.co.nz. So get over there to find their full range and get some good sim racing accessories to go on your rig. Button boxes, pedals and mods, shifters, handbrakes and mods, all sorts. Check them out.
Yeah, they are stockists of JJRC cars too, which are a very popular Chinese-made RC car that generally go pretty fast.
Yeah, very cool. Actually, I think Louis might be still out there. I think I just heard his motor go. I think he's been out there drifting in the virtual car some more. Yeah, suddenly looks like his motor is all used up, and well, they're still sitting on track. No, not in any hurry to tow back to the pits, but yeah, thanks to Racecraft NZ for giving us the RC cars to give away. Big thanks to MRP, series sponsor of the GT3 series, and thanks to them for the iRacing credits to give away for the car as well. That was organised by Sean for 1,000 races, but 1,000 races loaded. But MRP, a very good sponsor of ours, certainly make it possible to give away prizes like that. So big thanks to Barry and all the team there at MRP. Thanks to you, Corey, for joining me in the lounge again tonight.
Absolutely. No, it's always good. Always good.
And thanks to all our drivers for coming along and having a race. Massive congratulations to our season champion, Stefan McCartan, GT3 Winter Series champion for 2025. Big thanks to everybody at home for tuning in, and we will see you all next time.
Bye, Mum.